Brazilian cinema produced a host of incredible talents throughout the 20th century. But the first to cross over to America was Hector Babenco. His nightmarish neo-realist vision of life in Brazilian slums struck a chord with viewers all over the world, and he was enticed to America to try to bring some of his shocking, bracing naturalism to some of the most controversial classical novels of the century. His first was a popular but troubled production of the frequently banned Kiss of the Spider-Woman by Manuel Puig, which was a sensation.
Safe, so secure in Werner's arms.
If he had been able to replicate its success, his legacy would have been assured. But his second outing in America was an adaptation of William Kennedy's Ironweed. By the time it, and his ambitious but flawed take on Peter Mathiasen's At Play in the Fields of the Lord failed to recapture Spider-Woman's success, American financier's honeymoon with Babenco was over, and he went back to Brazil, where he remained for the rest of his career. He died of cancer, still relatively unheralded, having committed his final years to film, but feeling, unsurprisingly, like there were still stories in him that he wanted to tell, and that he never would. His was a cinema of great risk, of tightrope walks across chasms before jagged stone, a long way down. Ironweed is Babenco's best film, a glimpse into what he brought into his art form, what he pulled from an American cinema superficially interested in reality, but ultimately too married to fantasy, comfort, lies. It's a story of life at rock bottom, graced by touches of surrealism, escapes into an even bleaker alternate reality for people who badly need fantasy, but know that it will never touch them at the end of the road.
Sing for me. He'll always be there, stormy weather or fair. That's the reason I like him, you see. He's me pal, he's me pal. There ain't nobody else I can see. I know he's dead tough, but his love is no bluff. He'd share his last dollar with me, wouldn't ya? I'd rather be his, with his 15 a week, than be some old millionaire's girl. He's the best, and I love him. He's me pal, he's me pal.
By God, Helen, that's as good as it gets. You were born to be a star.
Oh, you think so? He's the best ever was, and I loves him because he's me pal, he's me pal.
Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson are vagrants in New York during the late 30s, sometimes lovers, sometimes antagonists, as their drunken foundering makes them belligerent, turns an enemy to a friend in the blink of an eye.
Now where in the hell are you gonna
Stay
sleep?
there if they gave me pillows and silk sheets, that's right. I remember her when she was whoring. And always broke. I had to speak my mind, that's all.
Yeah. Well, it didn't accomplish anything. Here. Have a piece of sandwich.
What that? Choke me.
Won't choke you. You'll be glad for it.
I'm not a phony.
I'm not a phony either.
Not me.
Hey, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna knock you across that goddamn street. Now be a goddamn woman. That's why you can't find nowhere to fly. I asked for a sandwich. Did I get it?
Yeah. You're stupendous and colossal.
Don't you squint your eyes at me or I'll knock you across that goddamn automobile. You've been a pain in the ass for 9 years. Jack told me that I could stay. But you can't because you're a pain in the ass. They don't want you. Now I'm gonna eat that sandwich.
Go ahead, eat it.
And I'm gonna be thankful for everything.
Well, you're a perfect saint.
Jesus wept.
Babenko spends 48 hours with the pair as they try to reclaim some small portion of dignity from the lives they've left behind. The potential they squandered. The people they've hurt most, including each other. Giving the roles of homeless derelicts to the most famous actors in the world may have looked like pure vanity, out-of-touch Hollywood posturing, but Babenko was in his way, trying to entice an audience used to high fantasy to see life on the streets by bribing them with movie stars. Unsurprisingly, it backfired. The film's energy lies somewhere between hungover beat poetry and radical, highly theatrical empathy in a highly stylized, highly cruel world, where demonstrations are broken up violently, wherever unions are needed, and men scrape together just enough money to stay drunk by digging graves, while their friends freeze to death on the street, or die of consumptive illnesses.
You've got no right to run it!
You get off of the tracks! You take this car back to the barns.
You won't get through here!
They busted his head!
You hold your breath for the entire length of Nicholson's pitiful return to the family he abandoned out of shame after dropping and killing his infant son. You don't know whether it would be good for him or them if they did manage to reconcile. In Ironweed, love and hope are both coated in thorns.
He only came to visit. That's all. I asked if he wanted to stay, and he said no.
Oh. Then it's all decided.
Nothing to decide. Like your mother says. Let me go on.
Fine. That's good.
That's it! You got the feelings of a goddamn rattlesnake!
Oh, you pardon me? Pardon me for having any feelings at all.
Lady.
The film envisions past and present, life and death, the unborn and the undead existing at once. A chance for a brighter tomorrow can't ever reach Nicholson because he's already living it at the same time that he's living his miserable present.
A coward. He'll run. You have no arguments to justify what you did.
I got arguments! I got arguments!
What do you got arguments about?
I ain't gonna sit here and argue with some goddamn dead scab, see? See?
Why don't you please sit down?
The cast lose themselves in the fading light of lost souls, finding poetry in their abandonment.
Well, I ain't no dead scab. You look like one.
Their radioactivity to a polite society, to people who don't know what it means to have nothing. Hollywood is still the last place you ever want to look for truth about poverty, but Hector Babenco tried his best to make the contradiction work on his and his story's behalf. To bring poetry to a place that rejects it, a place that keeps people from their homes and food from hungry mouths, a place that wouldn't let him keep telling us that there is hurt out there, just beneath what we can see, what we choose to accept. There is life, and there are people who will never get to live it.
That's Danny's room. It's a nice big room. It gets the morning light.
It's nice.